There comes a moment in every person's life, a single defining moment, when they must decide that who they have been is no longer enough. Most people drift through life never truly deciding. They adapt, they repeat, they accept the version of themselves the world reflects back to them. And because they never choose something greater, nothing ever changes. The truth is brutally simple. The world treats you according to who you present yourself as. If you carry yourself as ordinary, they will treat you as ordinary. If you act unsure, they will doubt you. If you show up the same way every day, they will continue to see you as the same person because you have given them no reason to believe otherwise. But the moment you draw a line, the moment you make a conscious, irrevocable decision that your old self is dead and your future self has been born, everything shifts. This is not about gradual improvement or vague intentions. It is about a firm, unshakable declaration. From this day forward, I am no longer that person. Understand this: the gap between who you are and who you want to become is not time. It is decision. It is not the calendar that transforms a person. It is the commitment they make within themselves. A man who has lived small for 30 years can begin living greatly tomorrow if he chooses, deeply and without hesitation, to bury his old self today. Drawing that line is uncomfortable because it means admitting that your past behavior, your habits, your excuses, and your limitations no longer serve you. It means telling the world, and more importantly yourself, that you will no longer tolerate mediocrity in any form, that you will stop identifying with weakness, that the old story, the one where you're average, unseen, and underestimated, is over. And here's the beautiful part people will notice. They might not understand it right away, but they will feel something different. Because the moment you make that internal decision, your entire outer world begins to change. Your voice carries new certainty. Your posture speaks of quiet strength. Your choices align with higher standards. Your presence commands more respect, not because you demanded it, but because you have become someone who naturally earns it. Do this once, truly draw that unbreakable line, and you will no longer have to convince people that you've changed. They will see it without a word being spoken. The same people who dismissed you yesterday will question themselves today. The same ones who overlooked you will begin to watch. Some will resist, some will doubt, but none will ignore you, because you will no longer be the same person they once knew. Remember this law of life: the world cannot hold on to the version of you that you have already outgrown. If you stop playing the role they're used to, they have no choice but to rewrite the story they tell themselves about you. So decide, right now. Draw that line, not with hesitation, but with finality. Say to yourself, I will never again act beneath my potential. I will no longer speak as if I'm powerless. I will not carry myself as if I am average. That chapter ends today, and then live every day as proof of that decision. You do not need years to change how the world sees you. You need one powerful moment of choice. Make that choice once, and mean it, and people will never see you the same way again, because the person they once knew will no longer exist. If there is one quality that will transform how people see you more than almost anything else, it is discipline. Not the kind you talk about, but the kind you live quietly, relentlessly, and without applause. The world is filled with noise, endless talkers, planners, dreamers, and boasters. They speak loudly about what they will do, but rarely follow through. Their lives are built on declarations that never manifest into deeds. Because of this, most people are skeptical when they hear someone talk about change. They have heard it too many times before. But when they see someone whose actions speak louder than their words, someone who shows up day after day with unshakable consistency, their perception changes instantly. Silent discipline does what words cannot. It builds a reputation of strength, trust, and respect. You do not need to announce that you are changing. You do not need to explain your plans or justify your dreams. Simply begin. Wake up earlier than you used to. Work when others are resting. Practice when no one is watching. Improve yourself quietly, brick by brick. Each small act of discipline becomes a signal, not one you shout, but one that the world feels deeply. Silent discipline is powerful because it reveals authentic transformation. Anyone can pretend for a day. Anyone can post motivational quotes and talk about goals. But very few people can show up consistently when no one is clapping. Very few can keep promises they made in silence. And when you become one of those few, you separate yourself from the masses. Consider this: discipline is not about perfection. It is about showing up, especially on the days when it would be easier not to. It's about doing the work without seeking attention, praise, or validation. It's about being so committed to your growth that you no longer need external motivation to keep going. That inner fire, that decision to keep showing up, is what people notice. And once they notice it, they cannot see you the same way again. There is another reason silent discipline is so transformative: it builds credibility without words. People learn to trust what you do, not what you say. And when your actions become predictable in their strength and reliability, people begin to respect you at a deeper level. They may not say it out loud, but they think, this person is serious. They don't just talk, they live it. At first, few will notice. You may train in the dark, work long hours without recognition, and sacrifice comfort while no one is watching. That is how it should be. Because true discipline is not about proving anything to anyone. It's about proving something to yourself. And once you've proven it to yourself, the world inevitably catches up. And when it does, it sees you differently. The same people who once ignored you now look to you for guidance. The same voices that doubted you now speak your name with respect. Why? Because you did what most people won't. You mastered the art of showing up without noise. Remember this truth: noise attracts attention, but discipline commands respect. And respect lasts far longer than attention. So stop announcing your goals. Stop seeking validation for every small effort. Instead, choose the harder, quieter path. Wake up and do the work. Study, build, create, improve, not because anyone is watching, but because you are building a version of yourself that cannot be denied. Do this once, and you'll notice a shift. People will look at you differently. They will speak to you differently. They will treat you differently, because silent discipline speaks volumes. And once the world hears that language, it can never forget it. The greatest transformation of how people see you begins the moment you stop accepting smallness from yourself. The world will always treat you according to the standards you set. If you walk through life tolerating mediocrity in your thoughts, your habits, and your decisions, people will mirror that back to you. But the second you raise the standard, the moment you demand greatness from yourself in every area, you force the world to rise to that standard too. Most people live far below their potential, not because they lack ability, but because they tolerate less than they are capable of. They speak casually, act carelessly, dress thoughtlessly, and accept conditions that insult their potential. Then they wonder why no one respects them. But here's a truth most will never learn. People cannot respect you more than you respect yourself. When you decide that you are no longer available for mediocrity, when you refuse to think average thoughts, perform average work, or live an average life, the world begins to see you differently. It senses the shift long before you say a word. It shows in how you speak, with purpose, not hesitation. It shows in how you walk, with certainty, not doubt. It shows in how you make decisions, with clarity, not fear. Every small choice becomes a declaration of the standard you now demand. And that standard, once raised, reshapes the way people respond to you. Here's the secret: greatness is not a talent, it is a decision. It is a daily refusal to be common. It's waking up and saying, I will not drift through this day as if it doesn't matter. I will treat this day, this hour, this moment, as a chance to express the best within me. This mindset seeps into everything you do. You stop speaking negatively about yourself. You stop surrounding yourself with those who drain your energy. You stop wasting time on meaningless distractions. Instead, you focus on mastery. You develop your skills with discipline. You prepare for opportunities before they arrive. You operate as if the world is already watching, because one day it will. And when that day comes, the difference will be undeniable. People will look at you and sense something elevated, something uncommon. They may not know exactly what changed, but they will feel that you are no longer one of those who settle. They will speak to you with more respect. They will trust you with greater responsibility. They will treat you as a leader, not a follower, because you are acting like one. Demanding greatness from yourself also means demanding it in the small things. Excellence is not built in grand gestures, it is forged in the details. It's in showing up 5 minutes early. It's in finishing what you start. It's in doing the task to the best of your ability, even when no one will notice. It's in refusing to let laziness, doubt, or fear make decisions for you. And understand this, people notice the details. They might not comment on them, but they register them deeply. Every time you choose precision over carelessness, strength over weakness, and excellence over average, the image of you in their mind shifts. They stop seeing you as someone who tries. They start seeing you as someone who is. So raise the bar. Raise it so high that the old version of you can no longer reach it. Stop making excuses. Stop waiting for perfect conditions. Choose greatness today in the next decision you make, the next word you speak, the next action you take. Because the standard you accept from yourself will always determine the respect you receive from others. Do this once. Refuse smallness and demand greatness. And people will never look at you the same again, because they will realize, just as you will, that you were never meant to be ordinary. If you want people to see you differently, to trust you, respect you, and believe in you on a deeper level, there is one principle that will transform everything: make a promise and keep it no matter what. We live in a world drowning in broken promises. People promise to change and don't. They promise to show up and disappear. They promise to commit and give up the moment things get hard. Words have become cheap because too many speak without meaning what they say. That is why someone who does the opposite stands out instantly. When you make a promise, especially one that costs you something, and you keep it, the world notices. People pay attention. They start to believe your words carry weight. They begin to trust that when you say something, it will be done. And that trust transforms how they see you. You are no longer just another person. You become a person of substance, someone whose word is stronger than circumstance. But let's be clear, keeping promises is not easy. If it were, everyone would do it. The real power of a promise lies in the struggle it demands. It will test your patience, your discipline, your endurance, and your courage. It will require you to keep going long after the excitement has faded. That's why it changes you. And that's why it changes how others see you. Start with yourself. The most important promises are the ones you make in silence, with no audience. The commitment to wake up early, the vow to finish what you start, the decision to show up every day, even when motivation is gone. These small, private promises forge your character. And once your character is built, your reputation follows. Then extend this principle to others. If you say you'll be there, be there. If you say you'll deliver, deliver. If you promise to support someone, support them even when it's inconvenient. Every time you keep a promise when it would be easier to walk away, you strengthen the invisible force of credibility around you. That credibility is rare, and because it's rare, it's powerful. And here's the magic: once people recognize you as someone whose word is unbreakable, everything changes. Opportunities find you. Doors open. People trust you with more responsibility, more influence, more leadership. They speak your name differently, with respect, and they treat you differently, with confidence. Because in a world of empty words, a person of unwavering word becomes a force. But this is not just about how others see you. This is also about how you see yourself. Every time you break a promise to yourself, you weaken your belief in your own power. Every time you keep one, you strengthen it. Keeping promises builds self-respect, and self-respect is the foundation of confidence. And confidence is the foundation of how the world perceives you. So make a promise, a bold, meaningful promise, and then keep it even when it's hard, even when it hurts, even when no one is watching. Let the struggle refine you, not defeat you. Let the obstacles prove your strength, not test your patience. And let your word become so strong that even your silence carries authority. Do this once, and the shift will be undeniable. People will no longer see you as ordinary. They will see you as dependable. They will trust your word, follow your lead, and value your presence, because in a world where most break promises, you will be the one who keeps them. And that, more than any title, talent, or appearance, will make you unforgettable. There is a moment on every path to greatness when you will have to walk alone. It is not a possibility. It is a certainty. If you want to change how people see you, if you want to rise above the ordinary, if you want to build a life that commands respect, you must be willing to stand by your vision, even when no one else believes in it yet. Most people never become who they were meant to be because they cannot bear the loneliness of the climb. The moment they face isolation, they retreat. The moment support fades, they quit. They crave approval more than purpose. And because of that, they remain trapped in the opinions of others. But those who achieve true transformation know a secret: the path to becoming extraordinary is walked alone, at least at first. When you decide to walk alone, you send a powerful message to the world. My belief in myself is stronger than my need for validation. And that message changes everything. It earns respect, even from those who once doubted you. It commands attention, even from those who ignored you. People might laugh, question, or criticize in the beginning, but deep down they feel something rare: courage. Understand this: walking alone does not mean being lonely. It means being deeply connected to a vision that no one else can see yet. It means trusting that the path you are walking, though empty now, will one day be crowded with those who once said it was impossible. History remembers those who walked alone because they dared to go where the crowd was too afraid to follow. This journey will test you. There will be moments of doubt so heavy you'll want to turn back. There will be days when your mind whispers that you're wasting your time. And there will be nights when the silence around you feels louder than any voice of support. But if you endure, if you keep walking forward with conviction, something miraculous happens. The world begins to follow. At first, they will watch from a distance. They will wait to see if you're serious. Then, as your consistency builds results, they will question themselves. And finally, when they see you turning vision into reality without their approval, they will come closer, not to help, but to learn. The same people who doubted you will seek your guidance. The same ones who mocked your path will praise your persistence. And the same crowd that once left you to walk alone will one day walk behind you. But here is the deeper truth: you don't walk alone to prove anything to them. You walk alone to prove something to yourself. You walk alone to discover that your strength is not dependent on applause. You walk alone to realize that your purpose is more important than your popularity. And once you've learned that lesson, you become unstoppable because you no longer need permission to keep going. So do not fear the lonely road. Do not run from the silence. Embrace it, because the road walked alone is the road that builds character, courage, and clarity. It is the place where vision takes root and strength is forged. And when you emerge from it, you will not only have changed how the world sees you, you will have changed how you see yourself. Do this once. Choose to walk alone when everyone else chooses comfort. And people will never see you the same again. They will see someone who does not bend under pressure, someone who leads without needing followers, someone who believed long before belief was popular. And that kind of person is impossible to ignore. Everything we've spoken about, drawing an unbreakable line between who you were and who you choose to be, mastering the art of silent discipline, refusing smallness and demanding greatness, keeping promises no matter the cost, and walking alone until the world follows. All of it leads to one simple truth: you are one decision away from becoming unrecognizable. Not unrecognizable in the mirror, but in the minds of those who thought they knew you. The world believes it knows who you are based on who you have been. But the world is wrong, because you are still writing that story. You have the power at any moment to declare, that version of me no longer exists. And when you do, the world has no choice but to adjust. This is not about proving anything to others. It's not about seeking attention or validation. It's about stepping into the fullness of your potential and living a life that demands respect without a word being spoken. It's about becoming the kind of person whose actions speak louder than promises, whose standards are too high for mediocrity, whose discipline is unshakable, and whose vision is too powerful to be ignored. If you do even one of these things once, truly, deeply, and without turning back, people will never look at you the same again. Because you will not be the same again. They will sense the change in your energy. They will see it in your choices. They will feel it in your presence. And though they may not say it out loud, they will know something has shifted. They will see strength where they once saw hesitation. They will see purpose where they once saw confusion. They will see leadership where they once saw potential. So stand tall and make the decision now. Draw the line, build your discipline, raise your standards, keep your word, walk your path even if you must walk it alone. Because when you do, you don't just change how people see you. You change what's possible for your entire life. The power to redefine yourself is already within you. Use it once, with courage, conviction, and absolute commitment, and the world will never again mistake you for who you used to be.